What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a lot of things to talk about on Infinite Magicraid. We have many events, we have a new code, and many more, so let's talk about everything. So first of all, we have a new code to redeem in-game, May event 2024, to get 10 excellent runes. So for that, as always, click on your avatar settings, redeem code, paste the code, confirm, and there we go, you have 10 excellent wishes. Then let's talk about the miracle banner we are gonna have this Friday for 2 more weeks. We are gonna have a new legendary hero. This is not a limited hero, at least nothing is mentioning that it's gonna be a limited hero or not, but I guess it is not gonna be the case. The next limited hero should come in June for the summer, as Lydia we had last year. So we are gonna have Popper, Nasael, Faxian and Dianmu. We are gonna talk about them in detail a bit later. We are gonna have Karela, Harsent, Olvik and Muradin. So this is Popper, one of the best hero today in PvP. Not in PvE though, he is a bad hero. Even if you are playing a direct damage team, he is not gonna be that great. He can lower the tenacity and the defense by 60%, but it's not gonna matter a lot in PvE. But in PvP, he is gonna have 30% more turn meta increase maximum at the beginning of the wave, giving you a huge advantage, but you need him to be the fastest hero in your team. So he is gonna have the 30% increase. If you want him to be efficient, you are gonna need to have the exclusive 3, so you are gonna reduce the turn meta of enemies by an extra 12%. This is a lot. So if you don't have the exclusive 3 on him, he might still be interesting in PvP, but not that much in fact. He has 2 other interesting features. The first one, with the first active skill, he can remove 1 buff in AoE and lower the resistance by 50% of all enemies in front. And finally, when he dies, he's gonna use an AoE attack on all enemies and he can stun them. And he has high damage, so it can give you a huge advantage depending on the team you have in front. So if you check the lineups now, he is not as played as before, because today we have Atkins and we have a ton of defensive units, but he is still played in many teams, okay? So you can use him in your defense, in your offense. This is still a great hero for the classic arena. Of course, you will always find him in one team in advanced arena, in the championship, the War of Thrones and the fair arena. But you will never see him in any other content. He is PvP exclusive. Then you have Faxian. Without any exclusive at all, at the beginning of the wave, he is gonna get 20% turn meta increase. This is pretty strong, but if you have the second exclusive on him, and if you are playing other heroes in the same team from the Sagacity Alliance, he is gonna get 3% more turn meta per alive from the same faction. Up to 32% turn meta increase in fact. So this is basically the hero in the game who can have the most turn meta increase at the beginning of the wave. But you need to play 4 heroes from the same faction, excluding himself. So nobody is doing that today, but still the turn meta increase he can get without anyone in the team is pretty strong. If you want to increase the turn meta of your heroes, you are gonna need the exclusive 3 on him, and then using the first active skill, he is gonna restore all the HP of your heroes, cleanse 5 layers of dots, revive 1 hero if there is a dead hero in your team, and increase the turn meta by 40% on that hero, and then increase the turn meta of all your heroes by 16%. But one more time, depending on the number of heroes from the same faction you have in the team, you are gonna increase by 4% the turn meta increased on your heroes, up to 28% in total. On the basic attack, he can remove 1 layer of a random buff from a single target, and on the ultimate, he's gonna release multiple stages of damage on a single target and have pretty decent damage based on dot. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention that he can apply Resolute 2 on all your heroes using the first active skill, which buff is gonna give you 40% more skill damage on your heroes, so it can give you an advantage at the beginning of the wave. You will never see any faction in Classic Arena, but you can find some sometimes in the advanced arena, but generally he is more used in championship teams, War of Thrones or the fair arena. So he is a good hero to use, but not everyone is using him apparently in the top arena. if you want in the Weathering Coast, you can use your Faxian over there. In that kind of team, if you don't have any limited hero, that's gonna be a good team. You are gonna have more defense on your Indra thanks to Ether, so you're gonna deal more damage, and Faxian is gonna increase the internal injury damage of Indra, so he's gonna deal more damage, and he's gonna also increase the turn meta of your heroes, and so that team is gonna be pretty good. So let's find out. 4 heroes, only 2,700 million damage. So if I retry generally on my account, I am around that score. Then you can add some extra heroes depending on the heroes you have in your account. Of course, you can add Little Jack. If you have Little Jack, then the result is going to be way better. 4,200,000,000. But if you don't have Little Jack, you have other solutions, don't worry. You can use Aniru. Of course, it's going to be better if she is exclusive 3, but you are still going to have a better score. 3,400,000,000. You can use Villette as well. It's going to increase a bit the score. There we go, 4 billion. And if you don't have Villette, you can try to use Seth instead. There we go. A bit worse, but still pretty high, without any limited hero. Outside of the Weathering Coast, maybe you can try to play Faxian in the Sagacity Alliance Faction Abyss, but if you already have Indra and Dianmu, generally, you can go really high using only them both. Look at that, for example. That combo is broken, so you don't need more heroes, so you don't really need Faxian, in fact. And then you have Dianmu as well. One of the best hero in the game when you pair her with Indra. In fact, Indra cannot work without her. You are gonna deal more damage depending on the number of thunder you are gonna have on the target, and he can't place a lot by his own, but Dianmu is the only hero in the game who can put some thunder layers on enemies, and this is why she is mandatory if you want to start dealing high damage with Indra. Don't worry, the exclusives are not mandatory on her. It's gonna help you, you are gonna apply more layers, reduce a bit more the turn meta of enemies, and deal a bit more damage, but she is usable if you have Indra without any exclusive at all. She is a great hero because on the ultimate she can stun all enemies. She has decent damage, she can increase the speed of all your heroes by 40% if you have the first exclusive on her. She can increase the turn meta of your heroes with the ultimate if she has the exclusive 3. She will lower the turn meta of enemies on every skill if she has the exclusive 1. She is a great hero. You can use her in the Weathering Coast, of course, in the team I showed you, or in the team with limited heroes. As you can see, you can reach that kind of score. This is pretty high. In fact, this is just the best team you can have in that content. You can use her with Indra in the Broken Land. This is super easy to clear towers using them both. You can just basically one-shot enemies and stun them with Dianmu to control their turn meta. This is a great combo in that content. In the Endless Cloister, if you have exclusives on them, you can use that team. You are going to reduce by a lot the turn meta of the boss. He will never play, and yeah, you are just going to do your multi-battle and kill the boss like this. Super easy. You just have to wait maybe 10 seconds depending on your power and the stage you are fighting on. And there we go, the fight is over in multi-battle. Of course, you can use them both in the Dwarven Ruins, but in auto, it's gonna be a bit touchy to play them correctly. And in the Faction Abyss, as I showed you before, they are just the best heroes to use. It becomes the easiest Faction Abyss in the game if you have them both. And finally, you have Nasael. Still a great hero in PvP today. If you have the exclusive 1 on him, he will always take the first turn, after Lydia in fact. And if you take the first turn, if you have a high effect hit on him, you can freeze the entire team in front of you. He can also protect one of your hero with an ally protection and heal that hero if he already has the ally protection on himself, and he can also freeze on the basic attack. This is a great hero. You are gonna use him in PvP. You can find sometimes a team in the classic arena using him inside. Look at that, for example. You will find one in most of the teams in advanced arena, like this, as you can see over there. On the top 2 as well. You have none in the top 3, so today, depending on the heroes you have, it's not mandatory to have one. But it's still really helpful, especially in 5v5 in the championship. These are my defense if you want to know, and I have Nasael over there. And if you check the rankings, you have a Nasael everywhere as well. And of course you can use him in the fair arena, but you don't need to summon for him to use him in that content. But the guild arena, he might be really strong too. He is a great hero for the Broken Land to control waves. He helps a lot. In the Wuthering Coast, you will never use him. In dungeons, he can help early and mid-game to control waves in the Dwarven Ruins, the Faxian Abyss, the Elemental City, the Tower of Mark, and the Endless Cloister, and to protect one of your hero. He is a good hero for that. But in endgame, you are not gonna use him anymore in PvE. I mean, outside of the Broken Land. So then you have Karela. She is great early and mid-game to complete the Blue Tower of Mark because she can remove the shield of the boss, so she can help on that. She can silence and reduce the speed of enemies by 20% with the ultimate. She can passively cleanse one of your hero when that one is getting controlled. But I tried that and it never worked for me, so I don't know if they fixed that or not. She can apply a block debuff on a single target and reduce the effect hit of the target by 25%. So she can be used early game, in my opinion. Then you have Harsent, who is completely useless. You have Olvik. He has a pretty interesting kit, but he is not strong enough to be played in my opinion. This is the only hero in the game who can reduce the dot damage taken by your heroes passively by 14%, and that effect can be increased by 50%. So up to 21% dot damage reduction. He can lower the effect hit and confuse all enemies, increase the turn meta of your heroes and their resistance by 25%. He can also cleanse dot layers on your heroes and give them a block debuff for 1 turn, and lower the attack of 3 enemies using the basic attack. So that's a good hero for the Faxian Abyss and early game if you want to push the campaign, the Tower of Mark, but outside of that, he will lack utilities. And then you are gonna have Muradin, and this is a good hero for the Faxian Abyss and early game to protect your heroes. He's gonna reduce passively the direct damage taken by your heroes by 6%. He can self-heal and revive 1 time per wave with full HP. He can increase the defense of all your heroes by 60% and freeze a single target using the ultimate. Consolidate your heroes, 20% less damage taken and 30% tenacity with the first active skill. And on the basic attack, he can as well reduce the resistance of the enemy by 25%. So this is a good epic hero in my opinion. So guys, that was all for the banner. Now let's concentrate on the events. But first of all, let me show you that I decided to pick that pack, so now I have a Bophany and Dez. But I'm lacking some legendary Phantom Dragon Eyes. In fact, I have only 1 for now, so I need 6 in total to increase their exclusive to level 3 directly. And I still don't have Aiden. Then we are gonna have the Sword Harbor events. And I'm gonna start talking about the packs we are gonna have, because you know what, it's Aptoide promotion time. The first one is free, then you have to spend to get the second one, before getting the third one, before getting the fourth one, and etc. And at the end, after spending $240, you are gonna get these rewards. And for once, I'm not gonna buy that pack because I decided to spend my budget on another stuff to get the maximum amount of power I can. Of course, this is a great pack to take, especially if you need some auras, some experience on your echoes, more echoes and more miracle runes and a legendary Phantom Dragon Eye at the end. But the best way to get some power today is to concentrate on the black market. So I spent my money to buy that chest 3 times to focus on the speed of my heroes. And I decided to pick that one as well, 50 euros and you get the 10 chests. And if you want to buy that pack, for example, you are gonna pay 65 euros, but with Aptoide you are gonna get some cashback on every purchase. So I'm gonna get 10 euros if I buy that pack, and I can reuse that cashback later to buy other packs for free. And if you are using my promo code AhkTaar IMR5 as written on the screen between May 1st and May 7th, so in fact it's gonna end tomorrow, you are gonna get 5% extra cashback as well. So if you buy a 93 euros pack, you are not gonna get 14 euros in cashback without my promo code, but 19 euros in cashback with my promo code, which is a bit better. But as always, don't spend too much. This is only a game after all, and you are not forced to. But if you are spending, you should use Aptoide. You are gonna spend less to get more items, and if you are using my promo code, this is also a way to support my channel, so thank you to everyone who is using my promo code. Okay, back to it. So you have the good deals, then you have the holiday pass, you have some quests to complete as always, and if you pay $20, you can have the VIP pass as well with 6 supreme runes and other stuff as well, but for free you can get all the rewards at the top and the epic phantom dragon eye. But I don't recommend to spend to unlock the VIP part. This is not worth it in my opinion. You have better stuff to buy today. Then you are gonna have some holiday packs. So you have a few items over there and more in there for a few dollars. And as well, you are gonna have more stuff in there. Concentrate on blessings if you want more power. This is the best way to increase your stats on your heroes. So buy red diamonds instead of buying these. You have the black market for that. It's the cheapest way to acquire some outside of the Endless Cloister, and you are gonna have more power on your accounts and heroes. Okay, so then we have the holiday sign-in event, a pretty good reward in it. The holiday dungeon, we can get a lot of experience and a ton of gems as always, so this is pretty cool. And by the way, try to save your diamonds, as I am doing. I'm not free to play, but I'm still saving my diamonds, so I need to spend less when we have limited heroes on miracle banners, because you can buy miracle runes in the shop. And look at that, with 25k diamonds, I can buy 1 PT directly. And a bit more, 168. So this is really important, especially if you are free to play or low spender. And finally, we have the Lucky Wheel event. And this is the best wheel we had so far. I mean, the best free-to-play one. You have in fact 2% chance to drop that chest for free. And inside you have all the limited heroes in the game. I love this kind of event. Because if you are lucky, you can be super happy. If you are not, of course, you won't be happy, but hey, it's a lottery game, right? You have to try your luck and be lucky if you want the top rewards, but at least we can obtain one time the top reward if we are lucky enough. This is not as always. Generally, on this kind of event, you have 3 different wheels, you have nothing great on the first one, and you have to spend to clear the first one, and then you have to spend again to obtain that chest on the second wheel. But this is not the case that time. You can obtain these rewards for free if you are lucky enough. And then after using 15 coins, you are gonna have that for free during the week. You can get one of these heroes. And in my case, I'm gonna pick Maeve because I have all the other units, but she is missing on my account. The best hero to pick in there is definitely Andras. There is no match. Andras first. And then it's up to you to decide the one you want. But they are not that efficient. Then after 60 you have these heroes inside, and first I would concentrate on Faxian maybe, or Bophany and Dez, and then Aiden, and finally Joni. And on the last pack you have only 3 limited echoes. I don't understand why only 3. So you start with 9 at the beginning and you can buy 1 daily in the shop, so let's do that. Every day I have 10, I'm gonna do a 10 draw. And am I gonna be lucky or not? Nope, I don't have the top reward. Let me know in the comment below if you were lucky enough to get it. And apparently you can get that chest multiple times. So if you need some extra limited heroes and exclusives on them, it's your time if you have a big budget. So good luck to everyone on that event. Then we have the magical clear event. We have no hero inside of it. And I already made a video, a complete guide on that event, giving you some different patterns to clear it in 8 moves or 9 if you are not lucky. You are gonna have the link to access the video right above me. So guys, that was all for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If it's the case, as always, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Have a nice day and see you in the next video. Bye bye.